Welcome back, all you awakened savages. And today we're going to talk about masculine power. Because most men have been lied to about what it means to be a man, right? You've been told that power has been louder, that it's about dominance, control, intimidation. But see the truth? See the guys who live like that? They are not strong. They're scared. They're performing. Real masculine power, it's not about showing off, right? It's not about getting applause. It's about holding the room without saying a word. Because true power comes from two places. Your ability to stay grounded, calm and clear, even in the chaos and fucking madness. And your ability to take aligned, focused action without hesitation. And when those two are balanced, presence and purpose, you become magnetic. You're still, but you're fucking unstoppable. Quiet, but commanding. But see, when they're out of sync, that's when shit hits the fan, right? You get emotionally flatlined. Your energy is all over the place, right? You're showing up for everyone else, but you feel like a stranger to yourself. So you lash out or you shut down, right? You might look confident, but see inside, you're fucking hollow. And this isn't about motivation. This is about your internal wiring. And every man has two signals inside. See, one that grounds him, roots him, centers him, brings clarity, and then one that drives him forward, helps him act, protect, provide, lead. And when those are out of sync, you feel stuck, weak, or even numb. But see, when they're aligned, you remember who the fuck you are. And today, we're going to go deep into this so you can rebuild your real voltage from the inside out, right? Because most men aren't weak, right? They're misaligned. They're living in a state of unintegrated polarities, right? You ever get this where you feel like you're doing all the right things, right? You're training hard, you're hustling hard, you're reading the books, you're meditating, but see underneath, shit feels off. Like no matter how much you accomplish, there's still this voice inside saying, this isn't it. Now see that feeling? It's not weakness, it's not laziness, it's not even burnout, it's imbalance. And most men today are running with half of their engine firing, right? Instead of 12 cylinders, they're firing on 6 cylinders, right? And they don't even realize it, right? Because you've been taught to either go all drive, right? All in with no depth, right? Always doing more, never feeling. Or it's all feeling with no direction. So constantly reflecting and never executing. And let me help you understand what's really going on here. Because inside every man, right, there's two essential forces. And for the purpose of today, we'll call them one is your anchor and one is your arrow. So your anchor is your stillness, your presence, your ability to just be. Your arrow is your action, your ability to move, decide, build and lead. But most men today, they're stuck in one of two traps, right? So trap number one is always on, right? So you've got no anchor. So these guys can't sit still. They're always chasing the next high, the next goal, the next metric, right? They get shit done, but they're always anxious, reactive, and low-key fucking exhausted, right? They're projecting outwards without being rooted inside, right? So they're loud on the outside, but numb on the inside. And then there's trap number two, just always reflecting. That means you've got no arrow. So these guys are constantly working on themselves, but they're not actually fucking taking any action, right? They'll journal, they'll meditate, they'll talk about growth, but they avoid real conflict. They hesitate, they play small, they drift, right? Deep thoughts, but no fucking traction. And the reality is, neither of these is masculine power, right? Real power is presence plus direction, right? That's when you've got the stillness plus you take the action, right? You feel plus you focus. When these two forces inside you are out of sync, your nervous system short circuits, right? Your relationships feel unstable. You start leaking energy in every fucking direction, chasing, reacting, avoiding, doubting, right? But doesn't mean that you're broken, right? This just means that you're misaligned. But that's good news because you have the ability to fix it, right? But not by doing more, right? Not by thinking harder, but realigning your system so it moves in rhythm again. And see, to do that, you need to find out where you're bleeding power in the first place. And let's walk through that now. Okay, because this isn't an energy problem, it's a coherence problem. Right? You keep wondering why you feel drained, right? Why you're tired by lunchtime, right? Why your relationships are feeling strained, why your workouts are just feeling shit, right? Why you're distracted, unfocused, reactive, right? It's not just stress. It's not just how life is. It's a field collapse. And that's your energetic structure, your coherence field. That is leaking voltage, leaking energy all over the place, right? And you're not tired because you're lazy, right? You're not struggling because you're not motivated enough, right? You're not behind because life is just hard, right? The real reason is your energy is leaking, not just physically, but energetically. You're draining your own power all day, every day, without even realizing it. So as I said, most men don't have an energy problem, they have a coherence problem. And coherence means that everything inside you is in sync. Your mind, your body, your emotions, your breath, your actions. And see, when they're not, that's why you feel exhausted, scattered, reactive. And this is the thing, your whole life is running on an invisible current. Your focus, your clarity, your confidence, your libido, your fire, it all comes from the internal current, right? Being strong and clean. But see, for most men, that current is fucking scrambled, right? It's all over the place and it's leaking everywhere, right? And let's go over some of the main leaks that you'll experience, right? So, leak number one, saying one thing, but then feeling another. You tell your wife you're fine. You tell your friends, I'm all good. You tell yourself you're fucking happy, but see, deep down, you're not. And every time you fake it, you pretend or you stay silent to avoid conflict, you split yourself in two, right? You're not tired from doing too much. You're tired from not living in your truth, right? Leak number two, always doing, never receiving, right? You're stuck in go mode, right? Working, fixing, planning, scrolling, right? Achieving. But there's no stillness, no quiet time, no breath, no inward space. You're like a speaker that's blasting all day and it forgot that it needs to charge as well, right? The body burns out, the mind gets foggy, and then you wonder why nothing's landing anymore. Okay? Like number three, you swallow the truth, right? And this one is heavy, right? Because I've done it for most of my life, right? You've got emotions that you haven't spoke about, right? Truths that you don't want to share, wounds that you've just fucking buried deep down. And see, the longer you keep them inside, the more that they're going to weigh you down. And what you don't say doesn't just disappear. It buries itself in your body and then it comes back fucking 10 times stronger as anxiety, low drive, apathy, depression. Fucking, you name it, it'll come back with that. Okay? Leak number four, untrained masculine charge. Your masculine energy, right? Your sex drive, your ambition, your drive to achieve, it's not wrong. But see if you haven't learned how to contain it, right? It will spill out in all the wrong places. Porn addiction, over talking, alcohol, drug addiction, rage explosion, emotional shutdown, random scrolling, chasing, comparing, right? Masculine energy is not toxic, but untrained masculine energy is fucking chaotic. And see, all of this, it's not just bad habits, it's structural, right? Your system, your field is out of rhythm. And when your energy is leaking like this, no amount of hustle, no amount of motivation is going to fucking fix it. This is why men start to fall apart, not from failure, but from internal collapse. And the way back isn't to push harder, right? It's to seal the leaks, to rebuild your internal structure, to align your truth, your breath, your presence, and your power. And that starts with one thing, looking in the mirror and taking fucking radical ownership, right? And this is an important part because let me tell you what my life looked like, right? Okay? When I went through this, because there's a moment in every man's life when the distractions just run out, right? And the truth is fucking staring right back at you, right? And for me, it wasn't a rock bottom this time. It wasn't addiction. It wasn't prison. It wasn't paralysis. It wasn't bankruptcy. It was after all of that, after my comeback story, after I had rebuilt my life, my body, I'd been clean and sober for years, right? And after people who once doubted me, they were calling me to help them. So by all appearances, I was the guy who made it back, the one who turned his life around. I was the success story. But see, deep down, I still knew something was off, right? And I didn't want to admit it because how could I? I had worked so hard to become this version of myself, the disciplined man, the present father, the one who finally got it right. But see, the truth was, I was still performing. I was still running a program that said, be the guy, people respect, be the one who overcame shit, right? Keep doing what's right, stay safe, right? Play small, basically. Right? I had a business, I had structure, I was helping people, but I wasn't doing the one thing that I truly wanted to do. And that was to speak, to create, to be on YouTube full time. Right? That calling had been whispering to me for years, but I kept silencing it. Right? Because the reality was I didn't believe in myself. Right? I kept telling myself, like, who wants to hear your story? You're not spiritual enough, you're not qualified enough. You fucking, you'll run out of ideas. There was all these fucking bullshit stories, and I believed those lies because they were familiar, right? But obviously there's a turning point, okay? And my turning point came, I was smack bang in the middle of another lone wolf stage, another dark night of the soul, okay? And I sat there in silence and I just felt fucking empty, right? And I didn't feel broken. I just felt empty. I felt misaligned, right? And I wasn't afraid of failing anymore because I'd proved to myself that I could be successful in basically most of the things that I'd done, right? But I was afraid of being seen for me, who I really am, right? Afraid of standing in my truth, right? And I didn't just want to help men behind the scenes. I wanted to impact millions. I wanted to speak to millions, to lead, to use my story, my voice, my truth. And see, at that moment there, when I was just sitting there, fucking feeling sorry for myself, basically, and I had this, successful looking life, I asked myself a hard question. Was I still hiding? And the answer was fucking yes, right? And that was my sacred mirror, right? Not the chaos of fucking addiction, but the discomfort of playing small, even after all the shit I had passed, all the shit I had overcame. And and around the same time, right, when this was all going on, I started to receive messages, right, downloads, synchronicities, and there was too many of them to just brush off. But they were all saying the same thing, right? Speak your truth, be you fully, be authentically you now, right? And when you get downloads and messages, you don't get somebody coming and telling you exactly what you should be doing. I had to discern that for myself, but I knew what it meant. It was time to start the YouTube channel, right? The same channel that I had created months earlier. I'd designed the banner, done the description. I'd done all the shit to get it started, but it left untouched. Why? Because I was waiting. I was waiting for the perfect moment, right? For the fear to go away, for the stars to align, to finally feel ready. But deep down, I knew that moment was right now, in that moment. So I made the decision to fucking stop waiting, stop asking for permission, stop pretending that everything was fucking perfect. Because I wasn't here just to survive sobriety. I was here to lead from it. Right? And see, since that night, I have walked differently. And it's not been hustling harder, but I've started living from my truth. And see now, see every video I create, it's a reflection, right? Every word I speak is a piece of my mirror, right? Not perfect, but real, and it's mine. And that's what that I want for you. That's why I do this, right? This isn't just about healing. This is about expressing. It's about living aligned, right? Stop hiding and start aligning. Because the world doesn't need another man doing what he should do. It needs you fully alive doing what you're here to do. And let's walk that path together. Because, see, across all time, awakened men have faced the same storm, right? And they've left guidelines, maps for us to fucking follow. And what you're going through, it's not new, right? It's not a modern problem. It's not a glitch in your personality. It's a rite of passage. And across centuries, fucking thousands of men have faced it, right? And the Stoics faced it with clarity. Marcus Aurelius said, he said, if you are distressed by anything external, The pain is not due to the thing itself, but your estimate of it. Right? In the translation there, your power doesn't come from controlling the world. It comes from mastering your response to it. Right? They called it ataraxia, unshakable stillness. Right? This is where presence is created in pressure. And the samurais faced it, right? They faced it with presence. They trained endlessly, not to dominate, but to remain centered in the face of death. Their code wasn't about violence, it was about honor under volatility. Right? And the Shaolin monks, they faced it through their body. They didn't separate spirituality and sweat. Right? Discipline was a prayer. Movement was meditation. Stillness was created through motion. You want to meet God? Start with your breath under pressure. And the Hermetics, they faced it through law, universal law, not religious dogma. Right? They taught as within, so without, as above, so below. Your external chaos is a mirror of your internal distortion. That's why we recalibrate you before we chase the next tactic or strategy. And across all traditions, they have the common thread. Masculine power is the path, not a performance. And it always begins when you stop outsourcing your power and your alignment. Right? So let me say this like I've said a million times. You're not late. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're being initiated. You're standing where warriors, mystics, kings, and rebels once stood. And see, like them, your next step will determine your next self. So let's get practical, because this is about getting back onto the path of realignment. Right? Because power isn't found, it's rebuilt through daily embodied alignment. Okay, you don't find power by waiting around. You don't meditate your way into manhood, right? No book, no podcast, no 5-step quick hack is going to hand it all to you. You have to build it day by day, rep by rep, through discipline, presence, and action. Okay, so let's go. Step number 1. This is about rewiring your core. Stillness plus strike. You've got two forces inside you right now. Your stillness, which is the ability to be grounded, calm, focused, even in fucking the madness, right? And strike, your ability to move with purpose, act with clarity, lead with conviction. If either one is off, you will feel it, full stop. Okay, let's go through a stillness practice. So just sit with no phone, no noise, just 10 minutes and breathe. Do some box breathing, eyes opened. Just feel right down your spine stack. Feel your mind settle. Right? That's your power turning back on. Stillness isn't weakness, it's control. It's how you stop reacting and start choosing. Okay, in a purpose practice, pick one meaningful action every single day, just one. Send the email, make the call, post the content, start the conversation you've been avoiding, do your mission statement, create your vision, right? Just whatever it is, right? You're not doing busy work, not scrolling, action with teeth. You're not here to be a busy fool. You're here to build. And that starts with one clean, clear decision at a time. Okay? Step number 2, build discipline in the body. You're not just a brain with fucking legs. Your body is an energetic engine. If it's weak, slow, inflamed, you're not calibrated for power. Right? So, first one, right? Cold shower. Get in there as long as you can. 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. Right? Just go in there and stand in it. Right? Because this teaches your system how to hold stress without freaking the fuck out. Okay, next part, strength training. Right? Not for looks, but that will be the byproduct, but for inner resilience. Muscle is emotional armor. So get into that gym as fucking much as you can and throw those fucking heavyweights around. And the last part, fasting. Right? Even if it's just 12, 16 hours. Right? This clears the noise, sharpens the signal. Right? I do it 3 times a week. I stop eating at 8 p.m. and then I start eating the next day at 12 in the afternoon. Right? Discipline doesn't confine you. It focuses you. It's how you raise your voltage. It's how you get shit done. Okay? Step number 3, tell the fucking truth. Every lie you tell to keep the peace costs you power. Every time you say what you really mean without being a dick about it, right, you wire strength into your nervous system. Right? So speak up when you would usually just fucking shrink. Be honest with your partner, your friends, your team, and most importantly, yourself. Right? Don't perform, don't preach, just speak clearly, calmly, and real. Right? Your voice is your weapon, not to wound, but to cut through the noise and the bullshit and to build real connection. Step number 4, right? A nightly scan for integrity. So end your day with truth. It takes you fucking 5 minutes. pen, paper, breathe, and then answer these questions. Where did I lead like the man I'm becoming? Right? Where did I hide, lie, or fucking flinch today? What would the aligned version of me do tomorrow? This is not about perfection, it's about momentum. It's about wiring truth into your system and building a daily rhythm, right? You don't need fucking 12 hacks. You don't need another podcast. You need rhythm. You need coherence. And see, 1 hour a day truly aligned is more powerful than 10 hours of scattered effort, right? Stop chasing high vibe. Start living true vibe, right? This is where your fire will return, right? You're not just reclaiming your energy. You're remembering who the fuck you are. Okay? Because you didn't come this far just to feel better. You came to remember who the fuck you are. So stop outsourcing your power. Stop bending to everyone else's comfort. Stop pretending you're okay when every part of your body is screaming for more. Healing is super important, but it's not the end game. Healing is clearing the fog. What matters is what you build once you can see again. Right? This isn't about going back to who you were. This is about stepping in who you're meant to be. Every rep, every truth, every moment of stillness is shaping the man your family desperately fucking needs, the man your mission demands, the man you respect when you're sitting with yourself in the dark. See, this work that you're doing doesn't just shift your life, it changes the field around you and it impacts everyone else around you. Your sons, your daughters, they will feel it. Your women will feel it. Even strangers will feel something different when they walk into the room when you're there. That's voltage, that's legacy. And you don't need to wait until you're ready. Right? You just need to choose it daily. One aligned breath at a time. One clear action. One truth at a time. The world is full of men who are fucking performing. Right? But we're starving for men who are truly present, grounded, real, unshakable, and unfucking deniable. So ask yourself right now, see when your grandkids hear your name one day, what do you want them to feel? Right? Not perfection, not success, but presence, strength, truth. A man who faced himself and showed the rest of us how to do it. You're not alone, brother. We walk this together. Now we rise together. And as always, I truly appreciate you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. I love you. Thanks for being with me on this path. I'll catch you on the next one. Got a video here, and you can subscribe here.